I mean, I've been single for like 10 years now. I don't know, and dating is hard. I'm 50 years old.
I'm 38 years old. I've never been married. I've never had children. I have 3 cats in my house.
Where the hell have all the good men gone?
Where are they?
It seems that
The challenges older women face in dating is truly something to study. This is what happens when you decide to start dating late, especially at 40.
I don't understand y'all men these days on these dating apps and stuff. I mean, I've been single for like 10 years now. I don't know, and dating is hard. I'm 50 years old. I look terrible right now, by the way, sorry. But I just don't understand the men, and maybe it happens with women too. I don't know, I can't tell you because I'm not on that team. But it's just not the same as it used to be. You come across these men and they claim they want relationships, but all they want to do is text, never ask you out. I don't know. It's just like weird these days. Or they do say they want to meet up with you and then you just don't hear from them again. Like, what is up with you dudes? I don't understand. Explain it to me. I don't get it.
Well, she's right about one thing. Dating is not the same it used to be. A woman who's 50 and hasn't dated in 10 years might be a red flag for some men. And I do understand her frustration. She's meeting men that says they want to meet up, and then no follow-up. But that's just what happens when you jump into the dating pool a decade later. All the good men already built their lives. At that age, most men who were serious, loyal, hardworking, those men are taken, married, or completely checked out of dating. The only ones left are usually the ones who never wanted commitment in the first place, or the ones who are just casually playing the field, like the players. But these older women need to take accountability as well. Why are you still dating at that age? Why did you wait so long to start looking for your soulmate?
I'd like to know why, when men get older, they just get more refined and sexier with their grey hair and just look better. And us women are struggling to keep it all tight and nipped. I've just been in for my checkup for my Morpheus 8 and, you know, it's looking good and everything, but £800 it cost and it was so fucking painful. Yet men are just growing older and looking great. Why? That's just not fair.
It is hard going out there at an older age.
I think there's a fantasy that comes along with that. You know, like you're saying, oh, I see people that are on their second and their third marriage, but
and they're happy.
It's real. I think it's really hard. I mean, I haven't been out there for a long time, but I remember I was so happy to be out there, but it was really hard because also as you get to be at this stage in life, you're pretty set in your ways and what you like, what you don't like. And so is that person sitting across the table. Right. So to find like
someone that checks the boxes
for each other, I think it's really hard. And
it's hard.
She actually said it. When you get to that stage of life, you're already set in your ways. And that's the issue with dating women in their 50s. One of the main reasons why it's hard to date them is because they're allergic to change. Allergic to allowing a man to actually lead or influence anything in their life. At that age, a lot of women have spent years doing everything their way, making all the decisions alone, and building a routine they're comfortable with. So when a man comes in, instead of partnership, it feels like disruption. And men pick up on that quickly. They feel like there's no room for them, no room to contribute, no room to protect, no room to add value. It turns into a power struggle instead of a relationship. Younger women are more flexible, more open to compromise, more willing to grow with someone. But women who are set in their ways see compromise as losing control.
Because womanhood doesn't stop at 30, love. And 40, 50, 60 is very young.
Hey babes, let's talk. Clearly, 50 is not old.
God is saying 40s, 50s, and even your 60s is not too late for marriage.
So you're trying to tell me at 53
It's just over for me.
30 is not old. 40 is not old. 50 is not old. 60, I feel like, okay, you getting older. Like you.
Woman, you are never too old to find love. You know why? Because women are the luckiest person in the world.
Why you so picky at 41 years old? What makes, I'm going to just be honest. What makes y'all think at 41 years old with all this baggage and miles that y'all got this kind of leverage?
Who told you I had miles because I was old?
Because you old.
Who told you I had miles because I was old?
Because you old.
I may be old, but I'm like,
because you old.
Around here.
Because you old. Vintage. You old. You old. You got gray coochie hair. Your eggs is dry.
I don't have any. I wax.
Because it's old. It's old. See, I don't play that. You're old.
The one thing all these women have in common is that they've all been inhaling that copium. They're trying to convince themselves that 40, 50, or even 60 isn't old, and that they still have the same options. But in reality, all that isn't true, because the dating market doesn't run on feelings, it runs on supply and demand. And the truth is, as you get older, the demand goes down while the competition goes up. Younger women enter the market every year, and men, especially older, successful men, naturally gravitate toward youth, softness, and femininity. But these women keep telling themselves they're still the prize just because they were attractive once, or because they've maintained a career, or because they're still fun. But none of that replaces the fact that age changes the dating dynamics completely.
I'm 38 years old. I've never been married. I've never had children. I have 3 cats in my house. Only 2 of them are mine. But it's another Christmas that is about to come and go where my relationship status is the same. And it's crazy because if you had asked me 10 years ago if I would be single at 38, I would have been like, absolutely not. And if I am, then just me now, you know? I have such a complicated relationship with this time of year. I really do, because I have a complicated relationship with being single. There's a part of me that really values my life and my time to myself and my independence. And then there's a part of me that feels really embarrassed about admitting that I want to be in a relationship. And I think a big part of that is it makes me feel like maybe I'm being needy or I'm being clingy and all these like, I don't know what it is, but it's almost embarrassing. It is. I feel embarrassed to be 38 and single and never married. I also think a part of me feels forgotten by God or the universe because I feel like I've done so much internal work on myself, and yet I feel like I can't seem to attract my person into my life. And even saying all of this out loud feels really cringy, which is why I'm making myself say it out loud and admit it. Because I'm sure that there's other people that feel the same way. But it makes me, I have a really hard time not wondering what is wrong with me. And I have to stop myself from going down that spiral because it can get very dark when I start to think of the reality is at my age, I may never have children at this point. And that makes me really sad. And there is a reality in which I don't ever find somebody. And that makes me really sad. And so the tension this year for me is allowing myself to have those wants, but then also allowing myself to embrace that maybe I am enough for myself. So I guess I'm just sharing this for other people out there who may be single and having the same thoughts and feelings this holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. You're not alone.
Many of these women, including this woman, always states that they never thought they would find themselves single in the late stage. But it's quite easy to predict, to be honest. If all you do is follow that independent movement, chase careers, ignore men, This is where you'll most likely end up, alone in house, complaining how hard it is being alone on Christmas because life doesn't magically pause while you focus on yourself. Time keeps moving. Men who wanted to build with you move on. Your options shrink, and the independence they bragged about becomes loneliness when there's no one to share it with. This is honestly where most modern women are heading, because the culture they're following is designed to push them exactly toward this outcome. Modern society has them believing they can do whatever they want with zero consequences, as if aging, biology, and the dating market don't apply to them. They think there will always be someone waiting, always another good man available, always another chance.
I've been humbled. The dating apps have officially humbled me. You know, you see there's 20 new people interested in you. You're excited to open up the app. The characters that I see. Now listen, I'm not delusional. I know I'm not 20 years old. I know, looks-wise, I don't think I'm a 10. I don't think I'm a 9. I don't think I'm not, I know what I'm bringing to the table, which, I mean, I have self-respect. I'm not a loser. I'm not the girl you wake up next to and have to gnaw your arm off. Like, I get that. These guys, the confidence, I'm not saying, but they think we're matches. You have no teeth. Why don't you have teeth? I deserve better than that.
Because men want younger women. If a man is 40, there is no way he is looking for a 40-year-old.
Right.
There's no way.
But at 40, do women even want to go with a 40-year-old man? The 40-year-old women want to go with a 50-year-old man, do they not?
I'd say most of my friends who've got divorced and who've kind of had relationships, it's either they've tried very hard to have a relationship and they're all very attractive. They're just older.
Right.
They're just in their 50s, the 40s, whatever. They're just not in their 30s. They've tried to have relationships with men of their age. Kind of hard. Yeah. Can they have sex with their own? Yeah, absolutely. No problem. Easy.
I've discovered the dating pool for women who are 40 and up. You ready? Here it is. Here's the pool.
Well, yeah, but I gotta ask, just what the hell did you expect? Y'all made it clear that you're only willing to date perfect guys. You know, the guys who are 6 feet tall with 6-figure incomes and six-pack abs. Not to mention the 6-inch you-know-what. And since there's only about 10,000 of them in the entire United States, half of whom, by the way, are already married or locked up, and another portion who happen to be gay, the pool that's left is pretty shallow. And the few that are left aren't interested in dating some broke 40-year-old woman who's hit the wall and is making her toxicity so obvious, even Stevie Wonder can't miss it. Not to mention the fact y'all offer nothing, literally nothing of benefit in return to any man, let alone the perfect ones. And on top of that, if you're alone at 40, you've already proven that your word, your commitment, is even shallower than the dating pool you just showed. Enjoy your freedom, ladies. Go be strong and independent. Be the boss bitches you all think you are. It's what you wanted anyway, right? I mean, you're the ones who told men to leave you alone. So why are you even worrying about the size of the dating pool?
It's quite funny when you think about it. Women brag about being strong and independent, and when they find themselves single at 40, and of course when the dating pool isn't in their favor anymore, they get shock. They question everything except their own choices. They blame men, accept their decisions, because accountability is the one thing they've been taught to avoid. Society tells them they can do no wrong, that every decision they make is empowering, even when it sabotages their future. So when reality finally hits, they panic, because they were never prepared to face the consequences of their own behavior. Instead of saying, maybe I pushed away good men, or maybe I prioritized the wrong things, they jump straight into blaming all men, or saying there are no good men left, or complaining about the dating market. They'll blame the apps, the culture, men their age, men younger than them, everyone except themselves.
I'm here to remind men that giving compliments to women is just not enough anymore.
And here that used to be just the bare minimum to give a woman a compliment. But, in my opinion, I think we can blame social media for a lot of women just not even being able to hear compliments anymore because they receive so many of them from random strangers that they just don't even matter anymore.
I went to the gas station and this man was like, "You're so beautiful." And I just looked at him like, mm-hmm. And I just kept on going.
See what I mean?
So I come back out trying to pump my gas and he's waiting for me. And he's like, "Did you hear me? I said you're so beautiful." And I'm like, "Well, if you think I'm so beautiful, then why didn't you pay for my gas?" And let me tell you, I got my gas paid.
Sadly, that really does seem to be what some women are expecting now. One could go so far as to say that they are expecting what a person could call wife treatment from a guy that they haven't even become properly acquainted with, just so that he can get her attention. And sadly, this seems to be pushed by a lot of women on social media. But ironically, some of those very same women are the ones that are wondering to themselves, why are there so many guys out there that seem to have such an aversion to dating?
This woman says that giving compliments to women isn't enough anymore. But the thing is, nothing is ever enough for them. You give them attention, they want validation. You give them validation, they want commitment. You give them commitment, they want lifestyle upgrades. It's a moving goalpost. Modern women don't just want to be appreciated, they want to be worshipped. And even then, they'll still complain that it's not the right kind of affection, or not consistent enough, or not exciting enough. That's why men are checking out. You can't win with someone who believes they're owed more no matter what you give. Compliments used to be something women appreciated. Now they treat them like the bare minimum, like they're entitled to it just for existing. So naturally, men stop giving effort. Why pour into someone who can't even acknowledge it?
I'm starting to realize men my age are not attracted to me. And so I'm wondering why, not because I plan on changing anything.
The problem with 37-year-old women is they come with 37-year-old problems. What does this mean? More than likely she has children. She's probably been married before. She's stuck in her ways. No one wants to pay full price for a used car. If a man has a capability, why is he going to go ahead and get a 1996 G-Wagon when he can get a 2026 G-Wagon? And women need to understand your past and your age does matter.
I agree.